Okay, so if, this is the continuance of the video that I just recorded, and I switched to English because now it's getting important. And I mean, the previous video, I just mentioned that it's nice and different to get out of the house without without my mother attached to me. But I'm still in such an area. So all day long, besides between 3 to 7 p.m., I need to be with her, and only those 4 hours we can be apart, which is and the judge said, usually, it's always like that. You're getting more and more, and we do not cancel the arrest immediately. But and just to know that usually the length, the duration between the hearings is much longer. It could be, instead of months or months and a half, like in your case, it could be 6 months. So I guess he's right, but I am innocent. I've never done a thing, so all kind of the rest is again, completely immoral. So, what really happened? Why are they doing that? Doing this? Because everything that they do, it's got a reason. Even things that are seemingly trivial, it's got a reason behind it. And I've actually spoke about it before. Not only the arrest itself, but what we see right now. I spoke about it before, but I will speak about it again in just a minute. I need to get back in the apartment. Oh, no, I can continue like that. I forgot it. It's not online recording. I'm recording only later. I upload it. So I'll tell you what happened. As you know, the ship is back. Actually, 2 ships, not 1. 2 ships. And by ships, I mean really starship, like Starships, like invading forces of the aliens, like you see in the movies. And I mentioned before that, even though I mentioned that many times, things that are seemingly including Starship, it seems like that they're completely material in nature and some material purpose. Many times, actually, their purpose is kind of like more of establishing communication or sending messages in a language that the recipient will understand. Because in order to actually do what it's doing, like for its practical purposes, including of course military purposes, it's not needed. We could have do it even without it. So it's not really needed. So what's the story here? First of all, so there was, two just started to do the thing yesterday, as you've seen in the show, of course, and in addition, we should mention that this evening, right, I'm going to continue and additional 3 to the show. You see that I've already started the show. It's just in its infancy, but it's going to be a dramatic show tonight, and we will have 5 ships instead of 2, and each day we will add more and more. Now, what I wanted to say is that, so what's happening here is the following. If it was up to the Israelis, I wouldn't have seen the light of day. Their dream is to put me locked inside a sanitarium, and just nobody will know about me. And it's easy because everybody that ever knew about me was all belonged to the intelligence services. You understand that I lived all my life in a terrarium. The issue with the living environments, that the closed living environments, and that the synthetic creatures slowly allowed to get out. After a long gun. You've heard me speaking about recently, and the metaphor is, I mean, it's quite obvious. I mean, I'm sure it didn't escape many. We don't need, and I don't need no terrarium and no government support or Nazi torture. There is no parameter at all of any kind in human behavior, in the human cognitive abilities that I do not surpass everyone in the intelligence services in the world by a long shot, by a much. But of course, guidance was never the issue. The issue was torture, sadism, and money. And I already told you many times, the people that sent money to Israel for this project, the Good Samaritan from United States and other countries will be in hell. I promise you. Every cent will be accounted for. Every cent those people send to my family, my friends, or my whatever, these people will pay. Hell is true when the person dies. It's soul. You can if you want modern conceptualization, you can think about the software. The software is saved by God in a computer and then is sent back to another virtual environment, a good one, hence Garden of Eden, or bad one, hence hell, if he deserves hell. And I'm sure that anyone who sent 1 cent to any of my relatives, friends, colleagues, whatsoever, is going to pay in hell, in torture in hell, because this money was 100% of it went to my torture. 100%. I've never given even 1 cent from it. In Israel, people only took money from me. They never gave me 1 cent from this money. Everything went to, I mean, in the good case, it just went to the private pockets of all sorts of scumbags in the Shabak, in the Mossad. But in the bad case, it went for intelligence projects that are aimed to frame in all sorts of incredibly wrong and, I mean, detached from reality things that of course I didn't do, and it's not me at all. No, it's not me. And you should have known it, and you didn't, and you continued, and you continued, and the torture never stops, and you will pay. And you will pay in hell for every dollar that was sent, every euro sent. Now, having said that, still, there's so much to do, actually, so much to do. And although there are several new discoveries and, I mean, new hypothesizes, I mean, new theories, and so much to do. Really, I'm walking literally around the clock. So, the thing is Israelis, the best thing for them, from my point of view, is just to put me in a mental asylum all my life, to take my sperm for me, to take my blood for me, to take everything for me, to take my flesh and blood, literally, and wait for it to recover, like the Shrike in the Hyperion novel of Dan Simmons, which is an unimaginably cruel creature that torture their victims forever. That's what they wanted. And that's why until now they do everything that they can to hospitalize me in mental institution. That's the main objective of the Israeli intelligence community. That's the main objective. Now, having said that, they already know about the Starship because it's here. One such Starship is here since the 1970s, and she's doing their stuff, and they know what's her stuff. I don't know who around the world knows about it because it's not public knowledge, but the Israeli knows, and they try to even to, in the vanity, in the stupidity and vanity, they tried even to shot it. Like, I mean, like a couple of cannibals that trying to shoot, I don't know, the moon. So now there is another one. Both will do their thing. And 3 more will be joined, during the night. I'm working on it right now. As you know, each will be a little different, but similar. So this one will be this will be the new design, of course, colored and details, but you will know the Starship, and three will put them on display, and three will appear and do the show. Again, this is a communication issue. I mean, to communicate the fact that because nobody in the world moves arm and leg, only tongues and mouses, I mean, the earth is burned. It's not that really there are 5 needed, or one is enough in order to annihilate entire armies of all, and I mean, all the military forces of all human Homo sapiens combined are atoms in 5 minutes by one, using only one. Atoms, I mean, like, is disintegrated almost completely. So it's not that someone needs more than one, but again, it's a communication. It's a kind of like try. I mean, they try to establish communication with you because they constantly fail. I mean, so they try to. This is the way to establish communication with a species that is almost, I mean, unable of any kind of communication, even with its own people. So what's the purpose of the ship? This I know it very well. Is to radiate. To radiate. It radiates. I don't know exactly what kind of radiation, and I'm not like a physicist, but what's certain is that it warms the Earth. Also, should be said that it's not geostationary. It revolves around the Earth like space satellites. Meaning that, I mean, there is, since it like a space satellite, it revolves not in the same like orbit, and not I mean in parallel to the equator, which almost no satellites actually do. But it has its own whole orbit, and Earth is got this is like inclination, and it's also revolves. So the satellite will be above each point on Earth, and I mean in cycles. I mean, no point in Earth is defended from it. It's actually better than satellite scientists, but because satellite scientists are, I mean, the equivalent in satellite scientists is the like, where can you cover? I mean, what's your coverage? I mean, what can you see? And usually the orbits are like that in the north and in the south there is like a large chunk of the Earth that the satellites never see, and they never act, and it's designed like that because there isn't much to search for over there, so people don't care. But this is one, I mean, they everything is in their like in their under their eye in their weapons. Just to be clear that it's not only Israel and so he hits the place, and although from time to time doing more than that, like disintegrating people that are really, I mean, that their nose is really too high, and people around them cannot live because of their ego. So you and people, I mean, both in Israel and outside of Israel, are going to enjoy it. The issue of in Israel or not Israel and all that, I mean, it's got, I mean, I discussed that many times during the past. Also the symbolism behind the flags, and the flags is a big issue if you remember, the maps. I mean, and there's a ton of things that, I mean, that I can talk about it a lot, and I didn't speak about it in the YouTube stage, but actually right now it seems not important enough. I mean, I have here, like, in this dish, I mean the yellow one, and also here like ton of like living organism that you can actually move. I'm sorry that I didn't do a proper video hired the Microsoft, but I'll do it very soon. I'm really busy in preparing more and more stuff. We have here, I call it my gach. It's a Klingon traditional dish. It's better served fresh, which means alive. It's worms. It's actually worms that are served alive, and it's considered a delicacy. Maybe I will take a bite later, and I'm not kidding at all. I don't want to open it because right now it's it's doing the electricity stuff, but later I'll show you. I mean, there is a ton of. I mean, if anybody is not updated, I don't know. I mean, yesterday I can speak about what happened yesterday, but it's very interesting. But I want to be short. I mean, later I'll speak more. I just say that I mean we have ton of big worms over there, and I mean 100% synthetic. This is basically a pool of toxic material. I mean, it's even too toxic for me to eat it. And I can eat many things, but if I wanted to eat this gach soup, I will need to wash it first. I mean, and like get the worms one by one, because I mean, it's like chemicals that are used for painting. I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to eat it. But the worms itself there might be. I mean, great value in them. I mean, I've never eaten anything that consists of Neros, and I'm sure that they consist of Neros. I mean, maybe not many, but I'm sure they do. And I mean, but the Israelis, it's part of the Israeli culinary like tradition for more than 100 years to eat babies like Titanic babies, that because of their body contains Neros, so they cook just like if someone thinks that it's a metaphor, then wake up. It's not a metaphor. It's literally true. It's something that they do in Israel like more than 100 years, to cook the baby and to eat it. Yeah, like that. Just like that. Yes, people know. Yes, since the 1970s, it is known for sure in the United States and the Soviet Union. I don't know. I mean, in where else? But it is an Israeli practice which is known since the 1970s throughout the world, and it's going on since before Israel was existed. And it's just one of the culinary dishes, like the regional eats. It's regional eat, a baby. A human baby, just like if they imagine a baby, just like that, a baby that is slaughtered and served to the table. Yes. Yes. You don't believe me. That's why the sheep are here. If you all would believe me, then the sheep, I mean, were not needed. But you don't believe me, so we need the sheep. So that's what they do. They radiate, and we will add more and more sheep, and the radiation will become more and more severe until no human being will be alive. Again, it's not that there really more sheep are needed. I mean, the first one could have done it. I mean, in minutes, but it must be a process for people that to have a chance to maybe change their attitude and perhaps, I mean, speak a little less. But I mean, I don't see it happening. I think they will speak until the last one is, dropped. Until then, they will speak with each other, and especially with the Israelis, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe when all else like will be bombarded with gamma ray, I mean, very strong gamma rays, I mean, maybe then, I mean, maybe at least, I mean, the talking will be at least, I don't know, mitigated. I'm sure it can be stopped, but maybe even a leg or two will be moved. I mean, not many. We don't want to exaggerate, but and certainly not an arm. But many people will start thinking about it, maybe moving an arm or a leg, maybe. So we need this progression, and for the progression to happen, I mean, the progression. I mean, if I'll tell you now, the commander of ship X74TB pressed the green button. I mean, at first you wouldn't believe me, and second, I mean, you wouldn't think. I mean, who cares? But when ships it's something that you can see. So I mean, the addition of ships is a way to communicate you that, I mean, we don't like Nazis, cannibals, and we don't like torture, and please stop. I mean, in a gradual way. So let's go. I mean, I'll just wrap it up with the punchline, which I mean, I postponed. So the punchline is that the fact they want me to walk is simple, because they know from other incarnations that when I walk alone, it's not only me. I mean, because there were previous messengers like me. I've said it many times. I'm not the first one. I mean, I'm not talking about Jesus. I mean, yes, it's like Jesus, but between Jesus and me, there were other guys as well. I mean, I do not like refute or rebuke. I don't know what's my correct word. I mean, the Jesus connection. But it's important to stress out that between the two, like in the 2,000 years between the two, there were actually many other message. I mean, not many. I wouldn't say many, but there were messengers here in Israel that actually, I mean, spoke in a similar way to where I spoke. They even knew the symbolic language that, I mean, I spoke about it a lot in the previous, like in stages, but a little bit in YouTube. And basically Israelis are just the same shit. So, but the Israelis do have a little bit of like organization memory, and they know that and they know the ship, and they know the radiation. I mean, so they know that if the person like me just walk outside, the radiation stops around him. I don't know what's around him means. Like what is the radius? So the answer is the radius is huge. But it's different between people. I mean, I've spoken about it a lot in the past. I mean, and I don't have all the scientific details, but I do know that it's. I mean, it's different for children. Like my daughters, Ilan, Noreen, also have this characteristic, but it's to a much smaller radius. And I don't know if it's just because they're small. I mean, they're just smaller younger in years and size. I mean, or maybe there are other reasons, but that's the way it is. It's like that I have like a huge umbrella like on top of me, and they have got, I mean, the two 6 and 7 years old like daughters, they have small umbrellas, very small umbrellas. This is all known in Israel. It's long ago. It's not something new. So the reason why I left the building just for like, I didn't mean to get out now. I mean, I have a ton of scientific and art stuff to do. As I said, I'm working relentlessly. But I mean, so the reason I went out was actually just to show you again that what you already know is actually true. That I mean, I knew that when I get out of the house, there will be a momentary stop. I mean, the first exit was just like a couple of seconds, and the second time is the one that I videoed. I mean, in the previous video, which was like 2 minutes, I don't know, 3 minutes when I took so there will be by the way, some say that the whole phenomenon is another proof for at least fast FTL communication. But never mind. That's really. I mean, we have enough science on our minds already. So yes, I mean, as expected, when I went out, it stopped momentarily, and yes. So I mean, that's the only incentive for them, that I will not be rotting in prison for my life, like for crimes that I did not commit. That's the only. I mean, and it's not new. I mean, the horror show here, the horror show. It's the real horror show. It's from Clockwork Orange. I really like both the movie and the novel by Anthony Burgess. So the horror show here is that they know all of that because it already happened several times. I mean, we are repeating the same patterns again and again and again. And I can't understand why you call yourself Homo sapiens. You should call yourself Homo vocalis. You see the captain here trying to send me message by like talking like very loudly over the phone, that I will hear it and perhaps he will get the message. I mean, what kind of message do you want me to get or not get? Why do I care of anything that anyone in the world says? I said it many times. Communication now is one directional. I speak and you, if you prefer to listen. If you not. I've stopped guessing messages. I received messages all my life, 39 years, messages around the clock, but it's done. No more messages. It's not eventually be like that forever. Perhaps it will, I mean, messaging will commence, but not before I sit in an airplane that is heading to China, and I'm outside of Israeli borders, and my 2 daughters are on my side. Only then I will I will seriously think, and I mean, I said it without cynicism, I will seriously think that perhaps it's time to continue receiving message from Homo sapiens like specimens, but not a minute before that. Until then, it's only me that sends messages, and you decide you can do. I mean, like you do, you can just ignore or make fun of it or prepare like very clever YouTube videos about it. Whatever, man, whatever. But that's the kind of communication that we have right now. 39 years it was. I receive messages around the clock. I mean, torture messages, hating, humiliation without end. I mean, destruction of privacy without end. Any kind of like humiliation that you can think of. But now, no more messages. Now it's only messages that I send, and you decide what to do with it. Okay, so as I said, so we have really a lot of things to do, a lot of things to do. I also have many new inputs and many new theories regarding like what's the correct way of preparing all sorts of like different stuff. Like I mean, living creatures and like chemicals and medicine. Have you seen before yesterday already? I mean, it's another like an interesting direction, and maybe like metals, like and I mean precious metals, which is something that I mean obviously will be a great thing to see. Even though I mean we have big fucking living worms right here, right now, swimming in a pool that consists like 0% water and consent. I mean, like crude paint oil, linseed oil, which is also toxic. A little bit of polydyne, several chunks of metal, several chunks of duct tape, wires, electric wire that I mean that are doing the electrolysis, which I don't think that this in itself I think is will kill most, if not all, life forms. I think, but correct me if I'm wrong. So what more do we have here? We have just pieces of plastic and of course liquid, which is a solvent of oil colors, which is extremely toxic, and the smell is unbearable. And it's swarming with worms that you can see in the naked eye. So I think it's even more more impressive than gold and diamonds. And I mean, to say that it's more dangerous than gold and diamond and gold and diamonds is like understatement. It's I mean it's this is the end of humankind. And I mean I barely have like half the time that I'm here I just move things from place to place because this room is so small, and I'm like there are so many like just stuff around me. Like I mean I always need to like art stuff and science stuff and like just general stuff that I always need to move around me, because I have no place to not only to walk but even to lay my head. And I mean and that's my place. I mean that's my cell. That's my so I mean I can really walk in sterile and I mean in sterile 100% sterile way, and I don't know how because I don't have laboratory or biology or experience in biology, and you know they suffer torture like electronic torture, and you know magnetism, and of course noise all around the clock. I just say it's I mean the chance that viruses and germs, I mean, I mean let's just save our breath. There is still a lot to do. Later I will prepare another video because I have many things that I want to update you regarding most like science, art, and new theories, and there are many things to speak about. So bye for now.